Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well through all of this madness and that you're all having a great day. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. I actually, for those of you who are not looking at the screen, I had a little chuckle when I read the title of this article. It says, here's what will be crucial for Bitcoin and crypto this week. There were so many different articles that I read that had something to do with the effect of like, this week is going to be big. This week is going to be insane. This is going to be a huge week for crypto. And if you've noticed, every Monday for the last 2 or 3 months, that's been the title of one of my videos because the constant, it's just been true over and over and over. So yes, once again, without skipping a beat, this is apparently going to be another really weird, crazy, extravagant, dramatic, chaotic week for all of us within finance, within crypto. Just because, as always, so many things are going on. Diving directly into stock news. The stock market is completely all over the place because there's, same as last week, meant to be an enormous amount of economic data that's going to be pouring in, and that data is going to tell us if inflation has been gotten under control, if inflation is falling, if people have jobs. I think there's another really big thing, something to do with oil. It says NASDAQ futures retreated on Monday morning as Wall Street turned its attention to the start of the second quarter. Yeah, you almost forget about that. I most certainly did. Happy April, everyone. The year's flying on by. And 2, it is now officially Q2. So you might remember, I'm sure you do, in the first 3 months of this year, we heard an enormous amount of news that Q2 for the cryptocurrency market was meant to be it. We are supposed to see prices skyrocketing. The stock market's supposed to rebound. We're supposed to see housing prices going back up. You name it, Q2 is supposed to be, the best time of our lives in 2023. NASDAQ futures fell. The move in futures came ahead of the first trading day of the second quarter on Monday. All 3 major averages were positive in the first quarter despite turmoil in the banking sector by the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank in March. There's also some banking news as well. A lot of people think that we're in for another wild ride with the banks in the next couple of days. NASDAQ, yada yada, S&P. It says they believe that the tech sector appears to be a safe haven. Big names like Microsoft, Apple, and the like, yada yada. The first week is a little bit shortened because this Friday is Good Friday, leading us into Easter, and therefore a lot of stuff is going to be closed and the stock market as well. It says one of the factors that traders will be watching this week is energy, as oil futures jumped on Sunday evening following an announcement of production cuts from Saudi Arabia and other OPEC members. So apparently the largest news that we are currently getting at the moment, despite job opening data, and there's also a private payroll report on Wednesday, and also the monthly jobs report on Friday, as if are people applying for jobs? Do people have jobs? Have job losses increased? Is everyone going broke? That kind of thing. However, the thing that's dramatically surrounding the news is, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says Saudi Arabia cuts ties with the U.S. for economic independence. I am not going to go into the entirety of it in this video. Just know that this is not random. This is not haphazard. This has been long in the making. A lot of countries, every country, not a lot of, every country, falls under the umbrella of the usage of the US dollar. And a lot of people don't know this. It's understandable. If you're not heavily into economics, or if you are not a history buff, if you will, I'll give you a little run through. Every country basically after 1945 was told to use the US dollar as their backbone. So everything that happens and every finality of a transaction must be done in US dollars. A lot of countries over the last 40 years have been desperately trying to get away from the US dollar. The moment any country mentions that they're trying to, someone snitches on them, not a joke, and the US basically tells them, and the neighboring countries are like, no, you don't have a choice, you have to use the US dollar. So from what I am understanding, I haven't read deep into this news, but I'm pretty sure I know exactly what's going on. I believe the news is that Saudi Arabia rose the price of oil, and therefore I think the US dollar moved down a tiny bit, and there's also discussions with other countries who are trying to make or use a currency that doesn't revolve around the usage of the US dollar. It's a lot. Like I said, we're not going to get into it. After sneezing, it won't come out. It's driving me. There we go. Insane. I don't know why it took so long for that to come out. So this is the major news story of the day. A lot of people are panicking as U.S. stocks are not yet open because I make my videos at the butt crack of dawn. The U.S. stock market is not yet open, and people are trying to figure out exactly where stocks are going to go based off of this news that we currently have. There's also speculation that there are a couple of other banks who are also not faring well, and that by the end of this week, once again, no one knows if this is going to happen. This could simply be people on CNBC being like, oh, I know something's going to happen. They think that by the end of this week, we will have news of other banks who are also failing, collapsing, don't have enough money, who need a bailout. The silver lining there for us in the cryptocurrency space is that these banks would then need a bailout from their countries as well. And with a bailout comes more printing of money, comes more money flowing into other markets. And therefore, remember the other week when Bitcoin moved up by 18%? That's kind of the idea. It says Bitcoin price and Ethereum prediction, crucial week ahead, with the U.S. non-firm payroll taking center stage. Surprisingly, though, nearly all the crypto price news was quite optimistically positive, which kind of shocked me because the first thing that I saw was that the futures were down. However, there's a lot of where we could be going, how high crypto prices could be by the end of this week and or next week kind of news. It says, will Dogecoin uphold a bullish rally to 1 cent? Isn't it already? Did Dogecoin? Okay. No, that doesn't make it. I think they mean 10 cents. I was like, I'm pretty sure Dogecoin is well above 1 cent. Dogecoin is, as far as I understand it, back in the news because Elon Musk is trying to get a lawsuit thrown out that revolves around Dogecoin, and the prospectus of him telling the judge that he wants it to be thrown out has reignited optimism in the Dogecoin space that he is once again backing the coin or likes the coin or something with Dogecoin, and therefore prices moving back up. I don't know. There was a lot of Dogecoin news floating around. It says top analyst forecasts Ethereum short squeeze. Says crypto may play catch up to the stock market. Working backwards, we have been closely tied to the valuation of the stock market. It's been over a year and a half at this point. A lot of analysts keep saying that we're not, and I'm not at all sure where they're getting that information from. Every time the stock market has fallen, we have fallen. Every time it rises, we rise the exact same way. And a lot of people are, as you see on the screen, it says may play catch up. We have gained far more than the stock market could ever have already done this year. We've had days where stocks have gone up by 1 or 2%, and we've gone up by 7. Stocks have gone down a little bit. We went down the exact same way. So there's no real playing catch up. I don't know where that sentiment or that idea is coming from. On the other side, when it says short squeeze, the idea is that a lot of people are shorting all markets. There are a lot of negative Nancys. There are a lot of bears out there who do believe that prices across the board are going to continue falling. It's not their fault. It's just who they are. There are a lot of people who love to bet against all markets. That's how they make their money. You can make money when the market goes up. You can also make money when the market goes down by shorting something. So there are a lot of sell orders for a lot of different cryptocurrencies, and we've seen that over the course of the last couple of months. These shorts, or the people betting against them, have completely been liquidated. And a lot of people think that this is also going to happen right now for Ethereum. And I will be completely honest with you, my optimism for where I thought Ethereum and the rest of the cryptocurrency market would be right now is a little wavering, shaking, if you will. I predicted, logically, as this has happened about a good 9 years in a row, that as we got closer to the next Ethereum upgrade, which is scheduled now for the 12th of April, that we would see a push up higher in Ethereum's price. Why would I believe that? Because it's happened to every other coin over the course of, once again, the last 9 years. And I'm saying 9 and not 14 because for the first 5 years of Bitcoin's existence, it was the only coin that people really cared about. And after that, every other altcoin, whenever there was an update or an upgrade, their prices would move up. As Ethereum is tied to every other coin, i.e., when you are trading or swapping out of and into a coin, you usually see that you can automatically go from Tron, Cardano, whatever other coin into Bitcoin. You can do the exact same thing into Ether, which means that if Ethereum moves down, the altcoins move down. If Ethereum moves up, altcoins do the exact same thing. So I had only assumed that people within crypto would have been paying attention to the inner workings of what's going to be taking place in less than 10 days at this point, and people would have been buying as they have historically been buying before. It could just be fear. It could be uncertainty. It could be that people don't really understand what the upgrade means. But we've seen this stuff. I almost said uncertainty shaking. That phrase doesn't make any sense in any context of what I'm trying to say. We've seen a lot of uncertainty within the crypto markets from people who are buying and or trading these coins because they simply, a lot of times, don't understand what the upgrades actually mean until they've actually come out. But that's neither here nor there. So I did expect by now that Ethereum's price would be moving on its own, that we'd be well beyond 2,000, 2,100, and the rest of the market would be moving up as well. But it seems we mentally all haven't really gotten there. It says Bitcoin to face a new ball game if it breaks $30,000 resistance. The numbers that we are constantly looking for those who don't know, is I think 1,970 for Ether. That is apparently the resistance level. Once it breaks through that, sky's the limit. And for Bitcoin, I believe it's meant to be something arbitrary, like 29,980 or something. So they use 30,000 as the number. And apparently, if we break past 30,000, that's also the signal to people that we have once again re-entered a proper bull run. What we've seen this year thus far has been absolutely incredible as far as where we were before and where we currently are, and the optimism that we're seeing for prices across the board. But apparently if we passed by 30,000, that's kind of at the end of the year, we should be hitting these really crazy extreme numbers. If you follow me on Twitter, you saw the numbers that people are talking about for XRP. And I think that also has to do with, once again, not only the optimism of the end of the lawsuit, but also this kind of, if we break past this number, analysts always say the next step after that is, moving a lot higher from there. It says Shiba Inu flashes 2 key signs uptrend is underway. I don't really have to. It's just the coin burns and also basically the movement of the rest of the market. If the rest of the market ends up moving up, and I dare say if Bitcoin and Ether move up, the rest of the market will move up as well. It's really interesting. We haven't had a lot of Shiba Inu news in a while, which is quite weird because that coin was in the news every single day before. It says Cardano price faces strong resistance before a possible rally. Like I said, everyone for some reason seems completely optimistic over the fact that where we currently are is where we're not going to stay, that we're going to be seeing some major movements upward over the next couple of days. no price news that I saw for crypto was negative. None. Every single coin out there had something along the lines of, we're facing resistance, we got to break through this number, but the moment we do, prices are going to skyrocket kind of thing. It says April seasonality in favor of Bitcoin and stocks. Apparently, historically, April has always been a good month for us. We will see. I can't give you a yay or a nay, but apparently this is the time of year when things end up moving up. It's normally supposed to be April. There's some time in summer, and I think also September, but I think September also failed us quite a while ago. I think it was in 2019. I don't really remember. Is that all the price news? I'm not really sure. Nope. Also this one. It says Bitcoin March monthly close paints a bullish picture. I think you get the idea. A lot of people are expecting prices to move up with or without the stock market. I'm not sure how we can move without the stock market. I think realistically, I assume once we get a proper stock market rally and the crypto market is rallying alongside it for at least 2 months, I think we need a constant pumping in both markets and new entry by a lot of new people into the cryptocurrency space for us to see any kind of break apart in momentum for both of them. Because what ends up happening is the cryptocurrency market typically goes into a bit of a frenzy. And regardless of what the news is around the world or what ends up happening, we start to see that people within the cryptocurrency space will completely ignore any negative news happening around the world and will simply keep pumping money into the market. And that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I would say, once again, once we have proper word from the Fed that they're no longer going to be raising interest rates, I would assume that that will be the time. But until that moment, we are stuck at the hip with the stock market. So yeah, stock futures are currently down. Everyone thinks that we are about to enter a new golden age of alt season. Let's see if that ends up happening. And yeah, let's move on. In the most popular news story of the day, Ethereum Layer 2 solution provider Arbitrum has backtracked on its governance voting system following community backlash from token holders on the 2nd of April. The Arbitrum Foundation tweeted that its first governance proposal, AIP1, number 1, likely will not pass, and it added it's committed to addressing the feedback received from the community. This is a weird weekend because it's happened multiple times, not just for Arbitrum. There were a lot of controversies in the cryptocurrency NFT DAO, decentralized autonomous organization space, where a lot of proposals were made and people found out what the proposals were really about, and the community backlash was swift and fierce. Over and over and over, so I'm not sure what really took place. It says the move will break up the debatable governance package into smaller segments. The team noted AIP1 is too large and covers too many topics. We will follow the DAO's advice and split the AIP into parts. This will allow the community to discuss and vote on the different subsections, end quote. So from what I can understand is that one of the main proposals in AIP1, as everything was packaged together, allegedly had to do with the fact that the people who created the company, it says the proposal would have given the foundation, a centralized company, over 750 million Arbitrum tokens worth around $1 billion. And a lot of people did not care for the fact that the company was trying to get control over that many coins. As we've seen before in the past, whenever any company at all tries to get control or has control over too many coins, people don't care for it. Because one of the ideas is, for those of you who don't know, is that the coins are meant to be for the people. This is why if you've ever heard a discussion as to why Bitcoin is a commodity, in regards to decentralization, it has to do with the fact that Bitcoin was not given to anyone during a launch. There is no proposal and has been no voting to give the Satoshi Foundation 1 million Bitcoin to hold on to this kind of, it's an open sea, not using the same term, but for everyone to be able to acquire as many coins as they so please. Critics such as decentralized finance and decentralization advocate Chris Bleck argued the proposal was decentralization theater. He said, "I just want to clarify, there is nothing decentralized about Arbitrum or Optimism. Just because you can use a network without permission doesn't mean it's decentralized." I want to shake this guy's hand because you hear me saying this all the time. A lot of people are jumping into, now listen, there's a huge difference. Are you jumping into a project because you're trying to make money? Cool. Go stand in the corner. You are your own entity. If you are just into a project because you think it's going to pump, you think it's going to do well, or you're trying to make money, you're in another camp entirely. The other side is a lot of these companies keep announcing decentralization, Web3. What's the other keyword that they keep throwing out? I don't remember. The other buzzword that's always there. And people are falling for it because they think that they're getting into a new project that is decentralized. For those of you who missed the video, I believe it was on Saturday, and then every other subsequent video before that, there have been a large amount of DeFi projects and decentralized exchanges that have been collapsing or have received notice from the SEC. That doesn't happen when you have proper decentralization. We're not going to go further into it, but more so understand, and this is very important before we move on. These people only care about money. I need to make that clear because I think that people don't get what I mean. I get it. We all on some level care about money because we need money to do things. And, the world revolves around money. I got it. But if you are getting into a project because you believe that this is going to change the world and or bring decentralization to billions of people around the world and therefore has a huge prospect for being the number one, the number two, the number three coin out of the top 5,000 coins that we have in the cryptocurrency space, understand the end goal for nearly all of these coins is not economic prosperity for the world. It is economic prosperity for the company. I would even go so far as to say, I do not know, but hear me out here. If the AIP1 was a bundled proposal, it's because they were probably, my opinion, trying to propose multiple things at once in trying to not have the community see that this one proposal was part of it. If I hand you something and it is one thing and you look at it and go, oh, I can see this one thing. If I hand you a bundle of 500 things, you can't see every single one of the things that I've handed you at the exact same time. So I'm going to assume that this proposal was probably thrown out there and bundled with the fact that the Arbitrum company would get $1 billion on the back of it. And then, they want money, as is the normal thing. It says Arbitrum Foundation backtracks on governance proposal following backlash. These companies are already making so much money, but the greed constantly is so out of control. And it's not just this one. I know nearly zero about Arbitrum except for this news that you see on the screen. But I'm going off of the back of the news of the other 15 companies who have done similar things or have collapsed over the last couple of years because they're not actually decentralized, and people end up getting confused and they end up losing their money. Don't forget, was it Celsius? I want to say it's Celsius. What was the company that collapsed last year? Everyone had their money inside of it on the website and thought they would get their money back. And then when they looked through the FAQ, the frequently asked questions on the website, it basically said, in the event of our collapse, any money you have on our website is ours. Remember, there was a whole court case and they went to the judge and they showed the judge their FAQ, and basically they got to keep all the money that was locked into their website. just pay attention to where you put your money. I know everybody wants to make a quick buck, especially with all the stuff that's been going on. Everyone wants to make secure money, really big amounts of money very fast, but you know, it doesn't always work out for everyone. That's the this was also in it as well. It says, with only 4 eligible delegates to create a proposal, is Arbitrum really a DAO? If there really are only 4 people who are creating proposals and or can vote for them, no, it's not a decentralized autonomous organization. It's probably a group of friends. Like, imagine you and 4 of your friends. You decide right now to create a coin. You decide to create a DAO. The coin becomes really popular. And one friend lives in Montana, one friend lives in Hawaii, one friend lives in Rome, and one friend lives in a 4th place. I can't think of another place right now. And you say, hey, we have a DAO. It's created to, you know, make decentralized proposals for the chain, for the coin, for the community. And then people find out that it's just 4 of you. You were childhood friends, and every proposal that you make will only benefit the 4 of you. So if there really are only 4 delegates, 4 people who are actually creating the proposals and voting on them, no, none of these things are actually decentralized. They don't care about helping you or decentralization. It's about them being able to say in 5 years that they created something in the cryptocurrency space and made billions of dollars, and to go on TV and smile and talk about how rich they are. That's apparently all, you know, this was incredibly popular news. I saw it once, I scrolled by it, it popped up 17 more times. This is the hyper theme of the day news. Yeah. Let's move on. Also this is certainly news. A cryptocurrency company called Lunar Crush has announced plans to send treasure to the moon. In this case, the prize will be the private key to a cryptocurrency wallet containing precisely 62 Bitcoin, or around $1.7 million at the current time of me making this. The spaceship will have the secret code engraved on it, and it will be communicated in the autumn of 2023 during the launch of a SpaceX rocket. The company guarantees that no one knows the password, so therefore no one can get the Bitcoin out. So the news is that if you want to, you can burn your Bitcoin by sending Bitcoin to this address. I believe there are currently 62 Bitcoin worth $1.7 million that are going to be on this rocket ship, I guess, headed to the moon. It said moon, so amazing. I wish I understood human behavior more, because I think it would make me understand exactly what's happening. For those of you who don't know, there are allegedly 6 million Bitcoin now lost and gone forever. We went over that news about a week ago, as someone said he looked through all the numbers. He believes that there are 6 million Bitcoin lost, gone. I assume this is a ploy or a publicity stunt to say, hey, we're burning even more Bitcoin that will never be used again. So if Bitcoin ends up going to $1 million per coin, boy howdy, that's a bunch of coins that, you know, that's gone, lost forever. And therefore the available Bitcoin on Earth will be worth more. You know, that's kind of the idea. But my mind works differently in that the world has been absolute more garbage over the last 3 years, and I feel like that $1.7 million would have done around 1,700 families really well if you gave them $1,000 each. I know someone just sucked their teeth. How dare I talk about helping other people? But this is giving me let's spend $100 million on a company that no one's going to use, so we can use it as a tax write-off kind of thing. But also, yeah, relatively popular news. I'm pretty sure you can gather why. The word Bitcoin is there. and SpaceX. And it also says SpaceX is owned by none other than Elon Musk. I think we all got that a while ago. So I think this would have been better news if that Bitcoin had been given. You can give 1,700 people $1,000. That would have made $1,000 in Bitcoin. You would have had 1,700 new people who would have gotten some Bitcoin. But, that doesn't really make the news. So, cool. Good job, Lunar Crush, on sending $1.7 million to the moon, and it can never be used by anyone else on this planet again. You are setting the trend for dystopia. And, yeah. Let's move on. Also now listen, so you know how I feel about Tron and how I've always felt about Tron, and the news recently has been very Tronish, and I don't understand why. I don't know if people simply just weren't here years ago. Back in the olden days of 2021, Justin Sun revealed that he had become an ambassador for the country of Grenada, and his name and his title had officially changed. So it was no longer Justin Sun. I believe it was supposed to be His Majesty Justin Sun. And I couldn't have rolled my eyes enough when I heard that news. The audacity to think that you deserve that title. In for anyone, just simply deny it. Help out the country Grenada, but don't take the title. Apparently, this title has now been stripped from him, and a lot of people were talking about it online. I can only begin to imagine what it would take for someone to lose the title of His Majesty and have it stripped away from them. But that's neither here nor there. So this was also incredibly popular news. Everyone's talking about him no longer having the title that he probably should not have had in the first place. The part that really rubs me personally the complete wrong way, I'm like, please stop rubbing me, is the news that Justin Sun has announced that he now wants to be a regulator in the crypto world. If you know the word cringe in English, we need a new word, because cringe is 5% of what I feel. If you followed, and I say the alleged history of Justin Sun and the alleged inner workings of Tron and the alleged inner workings of the Tron Foundation and everything that's revolved around the coin that we've heard about in the last 4 years, the idea of Justin Sun, who I currently believe is in the something with the SEC, as they have announced that they believe that Tron and the Tron Foundation have allegedly been deceiving customers and have allegedly been a part of market manipulation with the Tron coin and have been running and selling in unregistered security in Tron, the Tron Foundation, and every of the other workings of the BitTorrent token. The idea of, in the span of a few days, getting in trouble with the SEC, losing your ambassador role title of His Majesty, how dare you, and then announcing after all that, especially with the SEC, that now you want to become a regulator. I mean, I feel like this story will never end. I'm almost certain in the year 2032, we're all going to be sitting here discussing the news, and Justin Sun will be up to something. And I've heard the rumors that, and you can't spend $100 million on a website that no one's going to use unless you're pretty minted. You got some cash in the bank. I feel like if I had several $100 billion, I would have slowly fallen into the background to let my coin become more decentralized, let the community grab hold of it and do what they wanted and have proposals on it. But I don't know. I think a lot of people like the spotlight, and that's kind of just where we... Anyway, so the news is Justin Sun has lost his title of His Majesty. His Royal Majesty Highness, and now, not before, but after the allegations from the SEC, now he wants to be a good guy and regulate the crypto. Like you can't, no one's going to give this man a job at the SEC or the CFTC or the 123. So I can't begin to imagine what's happening in the world. The cryptocurrency news is always very odd. It's like a gigantic circus. Like every single day, there's always like a new hoop to run through and someone wearing clown makeup. That's the Justin Sun news. Yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, and this is just like another one of those, oh, snaps. Crypto was terrible before, but guess what? Bitcoin's now totally amazing, and everyone should be getting into it because I've secretly been buying for the last couple of years news. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says $779 billion asset manager touts Bitcoin and crypto, saying future of banking has no banks. Fantastic. So apparently this is a company called Allianz Bernstein. That is Alliance and then Bernstein, if you will, has announced that the banking sector doesn't look too hot. But guess what looks really hot? It's Bitcoin and crypto, and they're saying that now that's the future. And everyone needs to look towards it because you weren't looking before because the rich people told you not to look at it. But guess what? You can look now because they probably are, just buying up or have bought up a massive amount of it. This was also, and I hold back the term popular news. It was more of this news was floating around, and a lot of people always discuss whenever there is a rich anything announcing that Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space is it, and everyone needs to get inside of it because of how spectacular it is. So cool. The industry that we've been in for a long time has now been further, the word's not solidified, justified, awesome-fied, by rich people telling us that once again, the thing that we've known about for a while is now cool and awesome and is going to take over banks. But once again, we've also known that for a while. If any of you ever have a chance, and I mean, it takes a good 7 minutes, look up a documentary or even read, if reading is more your thing, on decentralization. And I mean this. This is TMI homework. I think you don't understand how important that it actually is. And its prospectus for how it can actually be done and is currently being done, but how it can actually change the world. When people realize and understand and read about what decentralization actually is and that it can be done and is being done, their mindset and their focus on what's important in crypto changes quite dramatically. So if you have a chance today, for the 5 of you who are still listening out there, read about decentralization and why it's important for you and for the future. A lot of people simply think it's, it won't affect me kind of thing. It's already affecting you. So the more you learn about it, the better you will understand what the future holds and why I keep mentioning decentralization. It's because it's very important for your money in the future. Yeah, that's the $779 billion asset manager is talking about crypto's the future. Where did he get that from? I've never heard that sentence before. It's almost like he's just, mimicking something that we've all been talking about for the last couple of years, but now they finally got there because they've also been buying tons of Bitcoin news. And yeah, let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: American Crypto Academy, Martin Steuer, Bodie McBoatface, Sam Ratter, Dotha Diddy, Manny Cryptos, Crypto Gambino, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Jamie Saad, and let's move on: Empire Queen, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin Ben Arachno, Dave the Dealer's Den, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lake, Mo Barazi, VB Nerd 21. I still want to know what that means. VB Nerd 21. Lauren De Silva quoted Biddy, Troy Allgood, Space Case Need a Miracle, Paternoster, Navarro Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman High XRP, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, at Bibliophobia, Adam Graysick, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Setsuna, Paxis, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Yes to Crypto, Anytime Fitness, Monks Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa, and on Crypto with Lionel. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to all the new Patreon supporters out there. Thank you to everyone who has left a like every single video. I do appreciate it. It does help out my metrics a lot. Thank you to everyone who has left a comment every single video. It does help out my metrics a lot. And everyone who's still watching, yeah, you don't know, watch time plays a huge part of YouTube. The longer someone watches, the better my metrics get. So thank you to everyone who is still here listening to me at the momento. Bitcoin is currently at 28,330. It is down up. We are basically where we were 24 hours ago, so the prices haven't really moved, and I dare say that's not a bad thing. We could be down by 7%, but we're not. We're basically exactly where we were 24 hours ago. Ethereum is at 1,807. Still shocked. It's the exact same movements as the Bitcoin chart. Ethereum isn't doing anything on its own. It's quite surprising. Binance coin is basically where we were 24 hours ago. Cardano is up by 3.4%. There was no Cardano news. It could simply be optimism. I don't know. Dogecoin is down by 4%. Solana's down by 3%. Anything else crazy? Yeah, all same movements. Same down, up, down, up, down, up. Maybe in anticipation of where the stock market could potentially be going over the course of this day. Who knows? Everything seems to be like light red and or red. Ape coin is up by 1.3%. I'm not really sure why. Anything else crazy? Arbitrum is down by only 5%. Sure. Why not? Stacks is up by 3%. Aave's trying to go up, and we are now out of the top 50 coins. I do hope that you're all having a great day. I hope your weekend was nice, spectacular, good, amazing. I couldn't sleep. I don't know why. Well, I know why. There's a lot of anxiety going on. There's a lot of... I'm trying to do so many things at one time, and I think it's slowly driving me insane. Between trying to make a video every day for this and making a video every day for Money Rules, I'm also trying to do my investments, and I'm also trying to plan travel, and I'm also there's a lot going on, and I need to slow down. But can TMI slow down? I don't think so, because logic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. I really do appreciate it. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.